These are all the docking ports of the modules and also the temporary docking ports. I will not spend too much time, maybe we have more time to talk about that later. And this is also different views of the various docking mechanisms of the station. The difference, one of the main differences between space station, International Space Station and Mir Space Station, in the number of vehicles which can service the station. So in Mir, basically we have just the Russian Soyuz and Progress, the manned and unmanned vehicle for cargo, and the US Space Shuttle after a few years. In the International Space Station, we have, of course, the Russian vehicles, again, the Space Shuttle, but we also have automated vehicles from Europe, the ATV, and also the Japanese automated vehicle, which are logistics module, the HTV. So this is a few views of the Soyuz, let's say, docking mechanisms. This is the docking port of the US shuttle, and I will take just a few seconds to tell you about this docking system for the US space shuttle, because it's part of history now. Initially, the docking system of the US shuttle was designed for the Russian space plane Buran. I don't know if you heard about that. That was a Russian shuttle, let's say space shuttle. And it flew once, but it was never used again. But the docking system on the Mir space station existed, and it was ready to be used by a space vehicle. So the Russians proposed, when the flights to the Mir were decided for the US shuttle, the Russians proposed to use these docking ports. And so the actual docking system of the US space shuttle was built by the Russians for an old space plane, Russian space plane. And now it is still used in the International Space Station. So they had to design an adapter to, and this is what we see here, to allow the shuttle to dock to the US side with a Russian docking mechanism. So that's really cooperation. Here we see the common, what we call the common berth mechanism. That's what is allowing to dock the modules, all the modules on the US side or on the western side of the station. And it's called the CBM. And this is actually the Columbus module just before we made it to the station. As I told you, and that will be my last, let's say, topic. As I told you before, the Russians never used the robotics for building the station. This is the opposite in the International Space Station. Not the Russians, but the other partners of the station are very often using the robotics for building the station, but also for maintaining the station. So what we see here is the robotic arm built in Canada, as you can see it. It's written here, and it is attached here to one of the what we call the junction node number 2, and this is the arm which allowed the installation of the Columbus module, in particular on this picture, but it's used for many other tasks. And actually, one of the nice, let's say, capability of this arm is to be able to walk on the station. So he can change his base from one place to another place, so he's able to walk and move in the station. And there is also a small train, which is on the big truss, which allows to move the arm to the external side of the station and work, for instance, on the solar panels. And this is the last robotics picture that we have. This is the hand of the robotic arm, and this it's not used a lot today, but it will be used in future for doing some let's say finer task outside the station and to prevent the astronauts to go out for performing maintenance tasks. And there's also another arm in the station on the Japanese side, which is called GEM or RMS, and this arm is used mainly for science. I told you that there was a small balcony on the Japanese side is not used for growing flowers, but it's used for science, and the arm is involved in this science. And you see here, this is a picture of the arm. You see the end of the arm here, and actually the hand of this arm, which is called the SPM, that I was just talking about, and which was assembled and first used during the end of my flight, just before my return to Earth last year. And this, I think, is concluding the presentation. So we spent a little bit of time trying to condense information. So thank you for your attention, and I hope we have more room for questions later.